So how do you find the perfect product to start selling on Amazon? In tonight's Friday live stream, we're gonna go through a checklist of key features and characteristics for products, for some of the products that you're thinking about selling on Amazon. If those key features and characteristics are there, then most probably your product is gonna succeed. Another Friday night live stream on our YouTube channel, Amazon Sellers Society. Hello everyone, my name is Crystal. I'm the founder of Amazon Sellers Society. Our mission is to empower, compete, and achieve, and to help other entrepreneurs and businesses do the same on Amazon, the #1 e-commerce platform in the world, primarily in the Middle East. So if you're interested and you want to learn a little bit more about Amazon, if you're currently selling on Amazon, let me know by leaving a thumbs up, and let me know any ideas of videos or information that you desperately want, by leaving me a comment right now in the chat box. So, as I said before, we're gonna go through a checklist of about 5 key features that are very essential, probably sometimes overlooked. Maybe you haven't really thought about them, but they're very essential if you want to succeed on Amazon. Now, normally when you start thinking of opening a business, the cornerstone of that business is the product itself, the product or the service that you're gonna provide. However, in e-commerce, it's the other way around. By that, I mean, if you decide to open a store, for example, in a shopping center, you don't think about opening a store and then you think, okay, so what am I gonna sell in this store? Normally, the scenario would be something like, I wanna open a clothing store in a shopping center, or I wanna open a shoe store in a shopping center. Not, I wanna open a store and let me think about it. However, in e-commerce, it's sometimes the other way around. We focus on this business, we think about it, and then we think about the product as an afterthought. And that's not how it should be. The product is the main cornerstone of your business. So make sure that you focus on the product, because without having or providing or selling a successful product, how are you gonna be a successful business? But this is where it becomes complicated. How can you identify whether a product can be successful or not? Is there a risk-free way, 100% risk-free way to find a product that can be successful without you risking anything? Well, in short, the answer is no, because in the end, it is a business and you are an entrepreneur, and this is an entrepreneurial venture, so there has to be a little bit of a risk. However, if you do your homework and you do your due diligence, you'll be able to find a product that is successful and has all the characteristics and key features that I'm gonna be talking about. Now, are you ready? So let's get started with the first thing. Please do let me know what questions you have so I can be answering them every so often, okay? So let's get started with our first key feature from our product checklist. Please do remember that the things that I'm going to be talking about are not your conventional find a lightweight product, find a small product, high BSR, low competition. Of course, all of these do apply, but we're thinking a little bit outside of the box. So #1, we want the product to be ad friendly. That's something that a lot of sellers don't think about when they pick a product. Advertising, whether on the Amazon platform or off of the Amazon platform, is something that's very essential, especially when you're launching a product that, you're a new seller, you don't have a well-known established brand, for example, and you're launching a product probably for the first time. So you need to have a launch strategy, and part of that launch strategy is actually advertising on external platforms, what we call as external marketing. External basically meaning not on Amazon. So external marketing and advertising on websites such as Facebook, maybe Instagram as well, Google, all of these social media platforms are something that you're going to have to invest in the very beginning to launch your product successfully. Now, there are a lot of things that you cannot advertise on these platforms, and there are a lot of regulations that you need to be aware of when you want to select a product, because the worst thing that can happen is for you to select a product that you cannot advertise anywhere. And there are a lot of products that you can't even advertise on Amazon. So please be aware of that and double check before you choose this product or that product that you can actually advertise the product, whether you want to advertise it on Amazon or if you want to advertise it on any and all social media platforms. Maybe you choose to advertise it on YouTube, who knows? But you need to have that option because it's something that you are gonna have to use when you start selling on Amazon for sure. And remember, our main objective is to use Amazon as a launching pad. So Amazon is a fantastic e-commerce platform. It's a fantastic marketplace, of course. They've set up a business model that can be very helpful for people who are starting out their journey selling online, or for any brand or business that wants to spread awareness and spread and open a new stream of revenue for its products. But additionally, in the end, eventually, you do want to have your own website and you do want to establish yourself on different marketplaces other than Amazon. Maybe in different marketplaces in the same country, like the UAE, or in different marketplaces in all over the world. Maybe you want to sell on Amazon.com. Maybe you want to sell on Amazon Europe. Maybe you want to sell on Amazon worldwide. Why not? Of course, this is something that can happen for you. However, you need to be aware and you need to make sure that you choose the right product that can translate over to your own website or over to other marketplaces. Okay? So let's talk about the second key feature. Sourcing country. What does that mean? A lot of you do ask, and I see a lot of you comment in the videos saying, where can I source my product from the UAE? Or can I source my product in KSA if you live in KSA? Or where can I source my product in locally where I live? Ideally, that would be fantastic, because if you source your product in the country that you live and sell in, so if you are a UAE based person and you can source and supply your products from the UAE, that would be ideal, because that means you don't have to bother with shipping internationally and all the things that come along with that, customs clearance, all of that stuff. You don't have to bother with it. However, it is a problem because, number one, you're not buying from the manufacturer directly, because the manufacturers 90% of the time are based in Asia, primarily in China. So you're not buying from the manufacturer directly. You're buying from somebody who has bought from the manufacturer. So you're buying from a third party and you're paying a premium price for that because they additionally want to make a profit. And you're not able to get to the source directly. So if that distributor that you're buying from in the UAE decides to stop bringing the product over to the UAE, so basically you're without a product and you're without a brand. So in the beginning, maybe that's what you want to do, but primarily you want to always source your products directly from a factory, no matter where that factory is. Now, if you're selling everyday products, it would be best for you to try and use Alibaba and source your products from China, because they have superior manufacturing capabilities and they have very, very competitive pricing as well. However, when you want to sell sensitive products such as skincare, makeup, supplements, anything of that nature, you definitely don't want to go to China. You probably want to source these products. If you want to create a brand and starts from zero, you definitely want to source these products either in the US, in Canada, or in Europe. Or you want to find local suppliers for these products, local to your country, either the UAE, KSA, or wherever you live and wherever you sell, and you'll be able to source these products easily and not go through the hassle of having to register these products to be able to import them over to the UAE. So Muhammad Hamza Khan is saying, how to start individual account, and after this account success, can we transfer to a business account? Yes, you can transfer. First of all, I get this question all the time. Definitely, there is nothing called an individual account or a business account in Amazon in the UAE. So I'm going to be focusing my information and the answer to this question for the UAE and KSA. There is nothing called an individual or a business account. There is only one type of account, and it's called a professional account. So it's the same type of account whether you open it as an individual entity and as a person, or you open it as a business. It's the same type of account. And yes, you can switch the credentials of that account later on. I know it sometimes gets confusing because on Amazon.com and other marketplaces, you do have an individual account and you do have a professional account. However, in the UAE, in the Middle East, there's only a professional account. So don't call it an individual or a business. It's a professional account. And yes, of course, you can switch it no matter what. Muhammad Ali is saying, did I sell on Amazon? Can I sell? Probably. I'm going to correct your English. Can I sell on Amazon without a license as an individual? I have a residence visa. No, you should not be selling without a license, because maybe for Amazon, you are able to do it as an individual. However, if you are in the UAE on a work visa or a residency permit or something like that, you need to have a business license to do this type of business on Amazon for sure, because you're selling products and you need to have something around that. So Farid is saying, Farid, I'm going to answer your question and then we're going to keep going with our checklist for sure. So Farid is saying I am having a problem with Amazon. After I buy oximeter and listed it for 5 days, before I send it to the warehouse, they told me that this is a medical device, you can't sell it. Yes, for sure, Farid, there are, sometimes this happens. That's why it's very important to list the product before you sell it on Amazon. And it's very important to also switch it to FBA so that you are 100% sure whether you can or you can't sell this product. So sometimes when you list a product, it seems like there's no problem. When you switch it from fulfillment by merchant to fulfillment by Amazon and you try to create a shipping plan, this is where you get some additional issues, and Amazon asks you for additional documentation. So if you are thinking of selling a product and you're not sure whether that product you are allowed to sell it, or if you need additional documentation, that's what you need to do. You need to test list it. So basically list it just as a test. Some people call it dummy listing. Some people call it skeleton listing. It doesn't matter. Just list it. Use your supplier's images. Use the information from your supplier. You can change it later on. Switch it to FBA and try to create an actual shipping plan. And that's when you're going to know whether or not you are able to sell that product. I know it's sometimes annoying, but I'm sure you can find a way around it, and you can get the documentation that Amazon require. Let's keep going and let me know what other questions you have. I'm going to keep going with my checklist and then I'm going to look over your questions. And if you are enjoying this live stream, please let me know by leaving a thumbs up so I know, so I can keep doing these live streams, so I know that you're getting some additional benefit from them. So price point. So a lot of people ask, what should be the price point of the product that I am selling on Amazon? So by that I mean, additionally, a follow-up question to that is normally, what is the investment that I need to sell on Amazon? So this is a very subjective question, because it depends on, well, how much money you're able to invest, okay? Amazon is a very interesting type of business because there's no maximum and there's no minimum. You can definitely start it at a very, very small budget. Mind you, you're not going to be making a lot of money. You're not going to be making a lot of, returns on investment, because you're not going to have a very big investment. However, you can start it at a very small budget, with a very small budget, and see how the business goes, and then decide whether you want to jump jump in the deep end or not. But normally, there is no answer to this question, because the budget actually depends on the product that you want to sell. So if I want to sell a product that the price point of that product is 250 dirhams, obviously it's going to be a premium product. It's not going to be a $1 product that I'm able to sell at that price. So you need to be mindful of the fact that the price point of the product is what determines the investment. So if you're doing product hunting and you say, fantastic, let me sell products for 250 and 300 and 400 dirhams, then you need to be ready for a much bigger investment than if you were to sell a product for 70 or 80 or 90 dirhams. Normally speaking, a lot of people do advise you to sell product at the lower end of the spectrum when you're starting out. So products with a lower price point, because, well, we call them impulse buys. So think about it yourself. When you want to purchase a product, when the price point is probably lower than, it depends on you and your salary, of course, but if the price point is something around the 80 to 70 dirham price point, you don't really think about it because it's not that expensive. So you're more likely to purchase that product as an impulse buy. That's what we call an impulse buy. However, when the product is much more expensive, customers tend to think about it twice. Do I really need it? Do I really want it? So they second guess themselves, because now they're making a much bigger investment. Like anything in life, you can you'll buy a very well-priced product quite easily when you walk into any store. You don't feel guilty about it because you feel like, oh my God, I got a fantastic bargain, even if you didn't really need the product. However, when it's a high-priced item, you tend to get what is known as buyer's remorse if you don't really need it. So you think about it again and again, and you might leave and come back and leave and come back and then make a decision. And that's exactly what also happens on Amazon. It's the same exact system. However, it's online. So if you're okay with putting a much bigger investment, obviously products with a much higher price point have much higher margins, and you make more money the higher your price point is. However, you would require a much bigger investment. Additionally, when you sell products at a higher price point, you'll find that the competition is very small. Whereas you find a lot of people that are competing at very low price points, especially that Amazon has become a website and a marketplace with a lot of Chinese sellers, native Chinese companies selling on Amazon, and I'm talking worldwide. So they have a heads up because they are able to supply these products at a much cheaper rate than we are, even if they're getting them from the same factories. So you don't want to be competing against these types of sellers. That's why study the products that you want to sell, study the price point that you want to enter in, and make sure that you have the investment to be able to do that. So Queen by Zed is saying, hello, beautiful Crystal. Hello, beautiful Queen. I want to ask you regarding sales. I was selling nicely on Amazon, and then I've made advertisement and now no sales anymore. I don't know what happened. Definitely advertising on Amazon is something that you need to learn. So it's not a skill that, just happens. It is something that you need to learn. It's a skill that requires time for you to learn how to do it. So I don't think that you stopped selling because of the ads, for sure, unless you made some dramatic changes. However, if you don't know how to create ads correctly, then yes, it will feel like you're no longer selling well on Amazon, or it will feel like you're doing all these ads and you're getting nowhere. And it sometimes might feel like this whole advertising thing doesn't work for my product. You start second guessing yourself. Maybe the product that you chose wasn't good. Advertising is not an easy skill. Again, it's not like I advertise and I set it and Amazon takes care of it. No, it takes some skill. We do have a playlist and we're going to be adding to it. We do have a series and we've put it in a playlist if you want to go ahead and watch it. It's called PPC to Win. And we've got a lot of interesting information coming soon about PPC ads, because trust me, you cannot sell on Amazon or in e-commerce in general without advertising. You're gonna have to advertise, but you wanna advertise wisely. You don't wanna just advertise for the sake of advertising. This is where you're gonna feel that, you know, you're losing your money, you're losing your investment, and you're not able to get it back. Mansoor is saying tools as Jungle Scout or such as Jungle Scout or Helium 10 are still not working for UAE or KSA. Difficult to get history to find the potential products. That's true, Mansoor. However, that's how it is for all marketplaces that start out. When they start out, big companies such as Jungle Scout and Helium 10 and other major companies are not interested, because it takes them a very long time to build such a huge database. Even Helium 10 and Jungle Scout are not available for very large and established marketplaces in Europe. So they're not available anywhere, but of course they eventually will be. But if I was you, I wouldn't wait for a software or a company that has nothing to do with Amazon to decide whether they do or don't want to come to the marketplace and base my decision and my future of whether I do or don't want to sell on Amazon based on a company. These companies, they're fantastic, they're great, but they're tools in the end, and there's something that you can use in order to sell on Amazon, but they're not the basis of any business. So imagine if they were the basis of your business. What would you do? Sit around, wait for them to decide to come to the area? But yeah, I completely understand your dilemma. But think about it this way. If they were available, then everybody you know would probably be currently selling on Amazon. So take it as a blessing in disguise, the fact that there are other people thinking this way. There are other people waiting for these softwares to gracefully come into the marketplace, whereby you can be years ahead of them and start selling right now without having to wait for these companies, okay? And by the way, these companies have been around for 5 years, but Amazon has been around for 25. So they weren't always the cornerstone of us choosing how to sell on Amazon. So just to let you know, but they are heavily advertised and heavily marketed by a lot of people. And that's why you get to a certain point where you feel like you cannot do Amazon without a tool, whereas it's not always the case, okay? Oh, okay. Kasim is asking where to start, if he should start from wholesale or from private label in UAE and KSA. I do not like wholesaling. Personally, if you're asking my own personal opinion, Kasim, I don't like wholesaling, because I like to be in control of my products. I like to be in control of my listings. I like to be in control of my brand. I like to create brands on Amazon. That's how I feel Amazon is heading towards. When you go into wholesaling, it's all about competing with other sellers, and the only thing that you're competing against, and the only thing that is going to make you successful, is whether you have a lower price than the other seller. So what happens is you end up not making a lot of money, and your margins are much smaller. And for a smaller marketplace like Amazon UAE or Amazon KSA, you will feel like you are selling and not making a lot of money, because the margins are very low, and it might make you feel disappointed. So it's up to you, of course. Yes, wholesaling is easier, it's faster, and it doesn't require a lot of upfront investment like private labeling. So you can start with wholesaling, learn how Amazon works, and then move to private labeling, because you'll see in all marketplaces, that's how major sellers are making their money, by doing private labeling and by creating a brand, sometimes a native brand, which means a brand that starts on Amazon and explodes online. A lot of major companies have started this way, and major brands, and you can do that. Average Consumer Gadgets is saying, I comment in all your videos, but still I didn't get to win a call with you. Well, we choose them. We have a software, and if you see our Instagram page, we choose them randomly. So it's not me, it's the actual software that chooses the comments. So apologies for that. Keep trying, I guess. Okay, so Muhammad Humza Khan is asking, if I choose category like clothes, can we also put another category? Of course. So Muhammad is asking if he can sell basically multiple categories. Of course. So when you set up a store on Amazon, you're not allowed to only sell clothing or only sell home goods or only sell this. You can sell whatever you want as long as you have the credentials and necessary, because some products do require additional documentation for you to be able to sell them. So yes, you can sell anything you want in any category that you want. Okay, so let's keep going with what we are talking about, and I'll keep going with your questions as well. Let me know what other questions you have. And please do leave a thumbs up for this video if you are finding it helpful and useful. I'm loving talking to you guys. So let's talk about the competition. This is a very important key feature. So when you are choosing a product to sell on Amazon, some people think, I want no competition. I want nobody selling a product like this product. I want to be the only one. And some people think, let me find the best seller and get a product that is very similar. So competition is very important. Of course, you want somebody to compete against on Amazon, because that can help you learn the things that people want from that product. So imagine if nobody was selling the product on Amazon, how can you know what people are looking for? How can you know if the product is going to be successful to begin with? However, when you find there are other people selling products on Amazon, and if they're doing well, how do you know if you can compete against them? Well, you need to look at the demand, and you need to check what the demand is based on the keywords, and you can easily do that through Google Trends, for example, and search what is the search volume for each and every keyword. Additionally, one thing I love is finding products that are selling well on Amazon but have really bad listings. And that's not very hard to find on Amazon UAE and Amazon KSA, because it's a newer marketplace. The reason why I like that is because I've taught myself, and you should too, how to create a really good listing, because that makes a very big difference. So creating fantastic images, really high quality images, a fantastic copy, meaning creating really good bullet points and a product description, and elaborate product description and bullet points, does make a very big difference if you're competing against other sellers who aren't doing the same. So doing these things requires a lot of time. Creating a really well optimized listing requires time and requires patience and requires that you learn how to create these things. Now, you can have a photographer help you, you can get a graphic designer for sure to help you, but one of the most important things is creating a listing that converts, because we think by just simply putting the product on Amazon, people are going to buy it. However, that's not the case. Each and every listing should convert at the optimal level. What does that mean? If you haven't heard the word conversion rate before, maybe you don't understand what I'm talking about. But conversion rate essentially is how many people log into the product page and how many people log out and how many people purchase the product. So I want to get a really good converting page. So even if there was 100 people searching for coloring pens, for example, on Amazon every single day. However, if my listing was converting at a higher level than everybody else's, I would be making more money, because people who enter into my listing are so impressed with the images, so impressed with the copywriting, so impressed with the title and the keywords and everything, that they are more likely to purchase my product versus somebody else. It's not always about the price. Of course, the price is very important, but it's not always about the price. And you need to try to become, to not compete against sellers with the price, because you want to try to sell your product at the highest price possible, because you want to make the most money possible. Moving on to the last key feature. As I started this video before, the features that I'm talking about are things that probably you haven't really thought about. Combine, what does that mean? You want to be able to start a product whereby later on you can combine it with something else and create a secondary product. So imagine if you are able to expand your line of products this way, selling, for example, a memory foam seat cushion, and then later on combining it with a back one. Do you know the ones that I'm talking about? Because everybody's purchasing them now that everybody's working from home and using their laptops and doing Zoom meetings rather than real life meetings. So you want to think of, can I expand this product? Can I combine it with something else? Or can I basically expand the, also, it doesn't have to be like combining it with something else, but can I expand the product line that I'm selling and start selling a lot of other products around that particular product? So that's something that is very important to think about, because that could be a key feature that can help you succeed on Amazon or succeed with the product that you want to sell on Amazon. There's always going to be a risk involved. In the end, you are entrepreneurs and this is a business that you are building. There's no guarantees, no matter what you do. But there is a lot of things there are a lot of features that you can look at. There are a lot of characteristics that you can look at that can help you make better decisions when you want to choose a product. So make sure you take your time. Again, the product is the cornerstone of your business on Amazon. So think about the product before you think about the business model. The business model is there. It's obviously very successful. A lot of people are selling on Amazon worldwide. About 20,000 people in the UAE are currently selling on Amazon, which is a great number compared to the idea that Amazon is less than 2 years old in the UAE. 20,000 is a good number, and that's statistically from 2019. So in 2020, I'm sure that number has doubled. So it is a good business. In the US, around 1,100,000 sellers are selling on Amazon.com. It's a successful business, but how do you make it successful? By choosing a successful product. So there is no, don't be not certain whether, people are making money on Amazon. Of course they are, because it wouldn't be 25 years old, to be quite frank. It wouldn't be going on at the rate that it is going on. And a lot of third-party sellers, about 75% of people selling on Amazon are just third-party sellers like you. And they're able to make a lot of money and they're able to build a business. Definitely not in a couple of months. It does take a few years for you to build a standalone business on Amazon, and they're able to, create the future that they want to create. So let me check a few of your questions. Let me go back to your questions. Muhammad Khan is also saying, you want an easy way for listing and can sell another same product. I don't know what you mean, Muhammad. You want an easy way for a listing? Well, listings are quite easy, no? I think they are. They just take a little bit of time. Ashraf Atif, very good questions. There is IPI restrictions in Amazon.ae? No, they are not. There's no IPI restrictions on Amazon.ae or Amazon KSA for that matter. What is the best criteria for, Qasim is asking, what is the best criteria for product selection in UAE or KSA for PL? Well, Qasim, a lot of the things I just talked about now, those are criteria, just in case you didn't notice. But there are a lot of videos that are gonna be coming up soon on the channel. So if you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button, because you're gonna get flooded with a lot of new videos that can help you make a decision and learn how to choose a good product on Amazon. And please do take your time, because a lot of you don't take your time in searching for products. Sorry, Kachi Dakuma, all right, campaigning on Facebook will result in suspension of listing? Of course not, for sure not. In the contrary, actually, because when you are doing advertising on external platforms, you're actually bringing in more customers to Amazon. So Amazon is going to be very, very happy when you do that. External advertising is a way a lot of people use in order to launch their products successfully on Amazon, and no way is it a bad thing. It's a fantastic thing. However, it's the same thing like advertising on Amazon itself, on PPC. Using PPC ads is something that you need to learn. A lot of people end up telling me that they spend a lot of money, they didn't see a lot of sales. Maybe this advertising thing on Instagram doesn't work, which is technically impossible because it's a very popular platform. So if you're not getting the results, it means you're not advertising properly. And again, it's not such an easy thing whereby you just create an ad and fingers crossed, hope for the best. Of course not. It is an art form. There are huge agencies that do this for a living. You can get somebody to help you to do them, or you need to learn it yourself, because it's a very essential skill to learn as well. Part of your toolbox of becoming a seller on Amazon, for sure. So Muhammad is saying how to make FBA barcode for individual account. First of all, you cannot make a barcode. You need to purchase a barcode. You cannot create a barcode out of thin air. You need to purchase a barcode. You purchase a barcode from either GS1 directly, but since you don't have a company, you need to purchase it from a GS1 reseller. The website that I mostly talk about is nationwidebarcode.com. So you can go ahead and purchase a GS1 barcode from a reseller like Nationwide, and you can use that barcode in order to list your products. But however, if you want to send your products over to the Amazon warehouse, you will need to get the FNSKU, which is the internal barcode that Amazon creates. It's an alphanumeric barcode, letters and numbers, and you add that, or you stick that barcode rather, on your actual packaging that arrives to the Amazon warehouse. So Jesus has a very good question. What do you think is the threshold quantity? Probably that's units sold per day or per month to say that a product is a winning product. That's a really good question. However, there is no answer to that question because it depends on the actual product. So I would never say like it's a successful product. The more quantity it's selling, the better. But it actually depends on the product, and it depends on the return on investment. Normally, your return on investment for the investment that you put should take you about 3 to 6 months to get a full return on investment for the money that you have put on Amazon. So the worst thing that can happen when you get a product is not that it's not going to sell, because for it not to sell at all, it's technically a really tough scenario, because you would have not done any product selection. You just find a product and you put it on Amazon. So the worst thing that can happen is that the product is selling slowly. So when a product is selling slowly, that's when you become demotivated and you feel the product is not successful. As long as it's selling, even if it's not selling as quickly as you anticipated, it's not a big deal, because it will build up if you do the right things, if you do PPC ads, if you do external advertising, if you do giveaways, if you do flash deals. There are a lot of things you need to think about in order to drive more sales into your listing. And the main thing is to look at the listing itself. Is it converting well? Is it not converting? But what is my classification of a product that is, successful? If I'm selling a product for 1,000 dirhams, I'm very happy with selling 1 unit every single day. If I'm selling a product for 50 dirhams, then it's a completely different situation. So it depends on your margins. That's why I always make sure that to choose a product that is making you really good margins, so that if it is selling slowly in the beginning, at least you're making money and you don't feel like you're not making sales and you're not making money. So it's basically a waste of time. So I know sales are very motivating in the beginning, and the number of sales that you see every single day does make you feel like a successful person. It's technically like a dopamine hit. So when you put a picture on Instagram, if you get a lot of likes, you feel like you're accepted and you're happy. So it's the same thing when you sell on Amazon. When you put a product on Amazon and people start to buy it, even if you don't know who these people are, you feel like you made a good decision, you feel accepted, you feel wanted, you feel that everything is okay with the world. However, when it's not like that, when the sales are slow, this is where the doubt starts creeping in, and you don't think about the solution. You don't think about the action plan. You start doubting yourself, and you let all that negative chatter creep into your mind. So what you need to do, if this is what you are experiencing, you need to put a plan of action and find a solution. Find a solution, what can you do? Or you need to, rather than just concentrate on the sales, you need to concentrate on the profit. So if you're making good and healthy profit, it's okay if you're not selling tons of products every single day. It doesn't matter as long as you're able to get your return on investment, even if it takes a little bit longer than you anticipated. KKPP, nice name. Can we have multiple stores under one account? No, you cannot. You can have multiple stores in multiple marketplaces, but not in the same marketplace. So you can open an account on Amazon.com in the US, in Europe, and the UAE. You can sell in different marketplaces for sure with the same credentials, but you cannot, that's if you can, but that's if you are allowed, or if you come from a country that is approved to register in the US, etc. But you cannot open multiple stores or multiple accounts in the same marketplace. That is not allowed. Is it true that US trademark is not allowed in the UAE? Is it true you need to have a reference from UAE trademark agencies? Thank you in advance. It depends where your company is registered. So if you are a UAE based company and you have for some reason a US trademark, then yes, it is not approved. But if you are a US based company and you have a US based trademark, then yes, it is approved, because you are a US based company and you opened your account on Amazon with a US company. So it's as if you are a non-resident company selling in the UAE. You know what I mean? But yes, if I have a company in the UAE and I get a US-based trademark, then no, it is not allowed. And it's like that for most marketplaces at the same time. So for companies who are coming from outside of the UAE, and like there are a lot of European companies and American companies for sure that are opening their accounts and they are starting to sell their products on Amazon, you see that they have all the trademarks, they have enhanced brand content, and they have no problem because they are registering as a non-local company in the UAE, or that's the same thing applies for KSA. Can we register on KSA with the help of a UK, a limited company? Yes, you can, of course, because the UK is also a country that is approved to open on Amazon in KSA and Amazon in UAE. So yes, you can, but depending on where you are from. So if your country, if you are not a British person, if you are from a country that is not allowed to sell on Amazon, then you're not going to be able to, because they will ask you for your business license. And additionally, they will ask you for your personal documents. So when you want to enter your passport copy, for example, or your ID, if your country is not located in the Amazon, it's not approved, then you will not find your country. So basically, to give an example of Pakistan, for example. So yes, if you are from Pakistan, then you're not going to be able to use any of your Pakistani documents in order to register on Amazon. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure that you're subscribed, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and make sure you share this video with like-minded people, because we want to grow our community. We've got a lot of things in store for you in 2021, even before the year 2021 ends. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next Friday. Make sure you put a reminder maybe on your phone so you can remember, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.